the best filmmakers of all time in Sri Lanka Paradise, I truly believe, is Mr. Chandran Rutnam, because Chandran has won so many awards in international film festivals. The Madrid Film Festival, he did win Best Director, which is so great for the country, being a Sri Lankan. He did go to Los Angeles and get a degree in editing, came back here, and he brought so many Hollywood stars all the way from the opposite side of the world to Sri Lanka Paradise, to this side of the world, and really put Sri Lanka on the map, and that's something I truly respect. He had a major part in the film that I was recently in that won the award for Best Film in the Delhi International Film Festival. Let's say hello to Chandran Rutnam.
Hello.
Chandran, good to see you here on the set. We are on his location where where he is filming Father Matthews, based on the true story, very controversial. He is a major risk taker, but he's a daredevil as well. Chandran, you have been a part of this whole idea for a long time, because I think you believe that this is such a great thing to do, because it's based on true facts. You know Father Matthews when he was alive personally. So, Chandran, tell us anything.
Yeah, well, I always was fascinated by Father Matthew even before he was accused of the murders, because he was such a enigma. He had so much charisma. When the man walked into a room, he took over the room. So he had that vital personality in him. And he was a kind man, and he also did a lot of good for several people that I know of. And he was also my parish priest, and officiated at all our events of our lives in my family. And then I went to America, and then I heard the stories about these murders, and I was very disenchanted. But when I came back to Sri Lanka, and I was doing a movie at the Velikada jail. The movie is about the famous international murderer Charles Subraj. And while I was shooting the film, a guy came and tapped me on the shoulder, and I looked up, and it was my Father Matthew. So we hugged each other affectionately, and I was absolutely stunned. He was in his prison shorts and a Bible and a cross. And he said, "I want to talk to you." And I said, "I'll see you after this film is done." A few days later we met, and he says, "Why don't you do a story about me?" And I said, "Well, let's talk about it." And then we had another meeting, and then he said, "Are you writing the script?" I said, "Yes." "Are you showing me as an innocent man?" I said, "Father, if you're innocent, then there is no story." He didn't like that. Then he said, "Who's going to act in it?" I said, "Gamini Fonseca." He says, No. Gamini can't act. I will act as myself." I said, "But you're in jail." Then he said, "No, there's going to be a appeal, and I will get out." Well, I left there kind of disappointed, because I did not like his attitude at that time, very aggressive. And then I found that his appeal, he did not win the appeal, and although his sentence was reduced to life imprisonment instead of hanging. Then I went to see him again, and he was a different Father Matthew. He said, "Yeah, go ahead and shoot, do what you want, make the movie, just sign a contract with me." And we signed contracts. And but I also felt that he was not very sincere at that time. He was very unhappy. And he came up to me and he whispered to me, "Anybody crosses me, I will sting them with my tail." So that kind of scared the heebie-jeebies there. And then I decided I'll stay away from this cat, So I stayed away from the project, although I had written part of it earlier at that time. And then he died. He was pardoned at age 85, and 6 months later he died. And then I was discussing this matter with Alston Kotch, and he said, "Why don't we do it?" I said, "Well, yeah, okay." And then he got some his friends who are producers, Anita and Christy Eliza from Australia, to fund the film, and we started it. So we are doing it together. And then I thought, why don't I use Alston as Father Matthew? And he's done a pretty good job. And then, of course, it was a great idea to get Jacqueline Fernandez. I mean, she's such a big star and in Bollywood. And since I started the movie, and we had a hiatus of 6 months for several reasons, and during that period she even became a bigger star. So I think we have got a major bonus here. And she's such a wonderful person. So we did the film, and now we are on location here right now, doing the second schedule. And Jackie is going to be with us for about 4 or 5 days. And then after that we are shooting with Alston, and then we should have the film completed by the end of the month, shooting, and then hopefully release it by May or June this year.
Okay, so I think we all are definitely looking forward to that because, Chandran, this movie does have so much depth in it, and I'm sure the screenplay also took a lot of your time putting everything together because it's all true facts and, you know, based on things that actually happened, and you know him personally, so...
Yeah, I knew him personally, and I still think that he was, even when he was in jail, he was the captain of the cricket team. And he was a leader in jail. I mean, the guy was a born contradiction. He was an enigma. He could fascinate you, at the same time he was such a deceptive man and such a cruel man and abusive man. So it's a serious paradox of a character. But that's what fascinated me with the story. So it's an interesting story, and I'm going with the facts which are recorded in the courthouse. And we gave all the facts to Christy, who is the producer, one of the producers, who did the screenplay, and we are happy to have them as producers.
Very good. Well, you heard it from Chandran Rutnam, who Steven Spielberg refers to as his most valued friend in the East. Chandran has worked on quite a few of his projects, like, for example, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So it's great representing for Sri Lanka and the whole film industry.